Okay, so we're gonna talk about Jesse's bigote, man. he's trying to imitate your bigote, man, and it's not coming out good. I don't know what Jesse's trying to do.
He's doing it wrong. That's what it is. He was making the mistake that I was making before.
I think he needs a workshop, bro. He needs a bigote workshop, bro. You need to put that together so that way he can take it. Awesome, brother. Well, dude, welcome to the show, dude. I've been trying to get you on for a while. I'm glad you're on the show. Dude, I wanted to get on you on the show because you've done a couple of things that are pretty inspiring. You started an event that has garnered some success, and you started it small, and you've slowly put so much love and so much hard work and so much blood and sweat and tears in it that, you know, after years and years of really working hard, it's starting to flourish and become something really, really fucking special, you know. And I have so much respect for that, so much respect for the hard work and the hustle. And dude, first off, you know, I want to hear your story, man. How did you get into the whole fucking salsa scene, dude? How'd you get in it?
Well, I mean, like, I believe, like, just like some of us, that, like, we grew up, like, you know, in a Latino family.
Yeah.
We always have, like, the music, you know, like for the birthday parties, like, you know, Christmas parties, you know what I mean? Like, we always got a little bit. And as you know, I'm from Central America. I'm from Guatemala.
Yeah.
So we like more like Caribbean music, which, you know, like merengue, cumbia, gato, you know, everything that we get from the South, everything we get, like, you know, that's the kind of music that we get before we actually get other music from up north, which is Mexico.
Right.
So, you know, so my family, you know, like we're more into like merengue and cumbias and stuff like that. And one of my uncles and my dad, they used to like salsa. But, you know, like the kind of salsa that we listen to is like the commercial, you know what I mean? Like the stuff you hear on the radio, the stuff that, like, you know, comes out, like, you know, like at that time, like, you know, record stores selling, like, you know, records and stuff like that. So we're more into that kind of stuff. And I guess that was that kind of music that we always have around.
Yeah.
You know? But I mean, like, we can talk a little bit of that, but I mean, like, just like you and I, we actually can share something because when we were young, we were like,
and we were young. It was a different life, right?
Life. It's just like, put it like this. It's just like what my kids are living nowadays.
Yeah.
And like maybe one of my 6 kids, one day they're gonna get into the music that I'm listening to and playing nowadays. You get what I'm saying? And they can tell the story and say, like, you know, I was into like hip hop, electronic music, and other things like that.
Yeah.
But my dad was like, you know, like collecting records and doing things. So maybe one of them can actually get a hold of like what I'm doing right now. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And, like, I'm sure you remember, like, when you used to go to raves or teaching parties or anything like that.
Yeah, let's touch on that, dude, because a lot of people don't know this about you. Before you were in the salsa scene, you have another story that you were a part. You were a part of the movement in LA that maybe many people in the salsa scene don't even know that you were part of this culture. You were what I like to call an insomniac OG. You were one of the original people that used to go to these things that they call today festivals, EDM or raves, but back then we called them fucking undergrounds.
Well, we were like in the backbone because I'm still working there because, you know, I work at the place that we actually used to see the flyers beforehand, before anybody else.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, as you remember, back then it was called A&A Graphics, and that was actually like the main source where all the flyers of promo used to come out.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And I mean, like, we can talk about like all the events that came out of there, you know what I mean? Like, as a for promo, you know what I mean? But like,
how old were you when you started to promote and get into the old raves? Because this was so many years ago.
We're old. So let's say like my first rave was in 89.
Okay. That was like the birth of the underground scene.
Exactly. But before that, we were like doing like, you know, like ditching parties. We were like going out, like, you know, experiencing things that, like, you know, as a teenager, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
like, you know, we were like just doing like what others are ones are doing now, but in a different kind of like way. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And I remember like we started doing like I guess they used to call it backyard boogie parties, right? Remember the backyard parties that like, you know, you used to go to one of your friends' house and be like, hey, you know, like I got the turntables, my brother plays, and let's just ask your parents to see if we can actually use your backyard so we can do a party. We charge $5 and we'll hook you up with some money.
Right.
Remember those days? And they used to carry like the turntables, even sometimes like, you know, like the barbecue grill, like, you know, something on top and put the turntables right there, or like a table, like a picnic table, you know, like that's what we used to do. And like some lights right there, like everybody was happy. But I remember that like what really like changed my whole perspective way about like seeing like, you know, like the party nightlife. It was when I started experiencing the raves.
Yeah.
And do you remember what year was Great Babe?
It was 91.
91. Okay, well that was one of my first big raves, because I remember I don't think it was techno stage, but it was one of those raves that I think we went to Alameda or somewhere around there. It was a warehouse, and everything was techno.
Yeah, right.
And whoa, but you know, that was dope. You know what I mean? Just to see like, you know, like how will you drive somewhere after you actually check like 2 or 3 different map points and get somewhere? You know, like you talk to somebody about map points nowadays, they're like, what is that? You know what I mean? Like, you have to go through all that just to get to a party. You get what I'm saying? So
right.
And my biggest experience, like, you know, it was Great Babe. And then after that, like, you know, I met Artie, and then after that, like, we actually like it opened our eyes to actually like do different things, you know, like in the OC, because, you know, like I was actually living in the OC, so I started working with a different crew doing like different events. So we actually like I don't know if you remember, but I clearly remember that, like, remember the scene back in the days, they used to be like not divided, but it was different people who used to go like to like what they used to call like the east side and the west side scene.
Yeah. Okay.
Remember that? Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, like the east side was more like, you know, like people who goes to like booty clubs, you know what I mean, like you know, regular, you know, like nightclubs and stuff.
Nightclubs, right?
And the west side was more like, you know, like underground, you know, events. So I remember at that time we were actually like doing more east side because that's where the money was. I mean, like, we were young, try to make some money and try to go spend the money that we used to make to go to the raves, because, you know, like even at that time, raves were not cheap.
They weren't. Yeah, right.
You know, I mean, like, it's like time moves forward. I mean, like, now that I see that, like, going to a rave nowadays, it costs like $200, $300. I mean, like, what happened with like the $15? What happened with the $10?
For us, $15, $20 was expensive.
Exactly. So then after that, I started falling in love with the raves. Like I said, which is different. It was like a place that you used to just go, experiencing like DJs, like, you know, like creating an art of like, you know, mixing and stuff like that. And at that time, I was already like, you know, spending time with my stepbrother, JP, like in my garage, like, you know, like DJing, like buying records, like mess up turntables, like, you know, Panasonic turntable, putting all kinds of stuff under it, like pennies on top of the needles.
Pennies, right. So right. What kind of music were you buying in the beginning? Was it hip hop? Was it techno?
At the beginning, we started with like, you know, like house, like, you know, remember like when Strictly Rhythm, it was actually releasing.
Ooh, yeah.
So we're like into that. We're like into that New York, Chicago, like, you know, all that, like, you know, like different, you know, like house. But like it's one of those things that like when you get into something, you want to actually dig like deeper. So once we started going to the raves, we're like actually seeing like Doc Martin, like Taylor, you know, like the whole Wicked crew, you know.
Right.
And we're like, whoa, I mean, like, where do you find this kind of music, you know? And then like we find out that, like, you know, there was some stores in, you know, in Melrose, Be Nonstop,
Prime Cuts.
One of the ones upstairs at DMC. Was it
DMC? Yeah, DMC. Street Sounds.
Street Sounds. And there was another one in Whittier.
Yeah.
I forgot what's the name of it, but And then the one in Whittier opened another one. Then the one in Whittier, David Alvarado used to work there.
Ah, nice. Okay.
So I remember that I used to go to and hit up David, and at the same time I used to hit up like Steve when I used to go to like to Melrose, and I used to hit him up about like, hey bro, I mean like I check out you said like like 2 weeks ago when you played this track, like I think it was like the third one, and they had this beat like bing 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 boom, like like just trying to make that sound with my mouth. Like,
Yeah.
hey, what the fuck is this guy talking about? And he will go right there and get the imports and drop it. And say, this one? Oh yeah, it's that one.
Right.
So
Right.
And he will be like, well, these imports cost more money. So I'm like,
damn, those are the days, man. Woo!
So yeah, we used to do that same thing. And I don't know if you remember this cat name. He used to go by the name Boy London.
Boy London, yes. Damn, that's old school.
Yeah. So
the crazy thing is that, and I tell this to a few people that we know, that you're the only person in the entire salsa scene that we share that commonality, that we used to go to all these raves when we were kids.
Yeah.
And I never knew that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you came to Grape Ape, which is the first event that I was a part of. That
real events.
We were kind of probably dancing together. We had no idea that we were next to each other. Yeah, it had to, because back then, how many people do you realistically were at events? A couple of thousand, maybe?
Well, remember when like Grape Ape was actually, I can say, like one of the biggest ones that like at that time they used to actually gather people from like everywhere. Like do you remember when Narnia started happening? Because I remember Narnia.
Yeah. So, I went to all of them, man.
Exactly. So like there was like few festivals that they were like kind of happening.
Yeah, right.
But I mean, like I'm sure like some of us, we couldn't afford to actually go to those big festivals first because we needed a car, and second, we needed like the money to actually like to pay the way in.
Yeah.
Third, I mean, like I don't know how it's gonna sound. I'm gonna actually say it, but like we're not gonna go sober to to a festival. So there was like those things that like, once we get there, we gotta actually find a way to it can actually be happy.
Right. Exactly. Right. Right.
So yeah. So going back to like the way that we used to buy records, and so every time we used to get a record, bro, like we were like fucking just try to get home and try the record with another record that we had and try to practice and practice, and like we would be like all week like try to practice with those records that we got, and then we move on and like just go check out other DJs and like just being there, just experience like how this guy would drop like like the record, and we're just watching right there how he was doing it.
Right. And then the times when you're trying to
and then what happened, and they would just seem picking up the other one like how the, and we would try to squeeze in to try to be in front of it right there, try to see like how he's doing it.
Right. Or look at the record. What record is it? And then it's a white label. So white label imports. Like Yeah,
it was white label, but the thing about it was that like when it was an import, they used to get it right with a marker like the shit or my shit or like like Steve shit or Doc Martin shit or like they kind of knew which one it was or something, but like they just kind of label it like put the signature or whatever, what I mean?
Right.
And fuck, I mean, like, how I'm gonna get a hold of that one? And don't forget, we didn't have the technology that we got nowadays because I mean, like nowadays, would somebody pull out a phone and try to record the shit or do anything? And
no one had. You couldn't record it. There was no Shazam. There was nothing.
I mean, like there was few fools that like we were walking around with a big ass fucking cameras right there, like VHS right there.
Right. You remember that song Bomb Scare, the one that goes dun 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 dun.
Yeah, that was techno, right?
Yeah. Remember that song?
That was techno.
Yeah. Right. I remember someone played that on a white label, and it blew my mind. And I wanted to find out how the name of it. I couldn't find that song for like almost a month, and then I found it. Crazy back in those days, man.
Yeah. So anyhow, and then, bro, like I finally turned like 18, so I finally got a real job, and I was actually kind of affording, like, like to go buy more records. And I remember like one Christmas, we put together some money to buy a real Technique turntable.
Nice.
And I remember I only had like $250 saved up. And I remember my dad, he came up to me and asked me like, so what do you want for Christmas? I'm like, fuck, more money so I can buy me a turntable. He's like, well, how much does it cost? I'm like around $400. So, yeah. Well, what about the one you guys got right now? And I'm like, Dad, put it like this. What we got right now is a Pinto. That one right there is a Ferrari. Right. So it's all right. So I remember he gave us the rest of the money for Christmas. So we went to buy a turntable, bro. So it was crazy because some of the music that like were more like, instrumental shit or anything like that, we played on like fucked up like, turntable. And we want to kind of like blend or like kind of do different things. We do it like, with a Technique. You know what I'm saying? Because you can do more, like speed it up or do things.
The cue, right, everything.
So we're doing that with my brother, bro, having so much fun. And we had some friends coming over, and I mean, like Smoke and some of the other cats were like into breaking and, doing different things. That's so anyhow, and then we move on, like I quit my job that I was doing. So, and then I went to pick up some flyers, and then I met like Artie, and he, well, I already met him, but like we actually were talking like about things and like, hey, how's your events are going? Yeah, we're just doing little things here and there. At that time, I used to work with a cat named Paul from Above Society. We were like in the East Side, we're like we were like big. We're doing a lot of like big kind of clubs and different things. Kind of doing the same thing that like they were doing on the underground, but like more like for the people, you know what I mean, like high school kids and shit like that. Right. So I remember he offered me a job right then and then. He asked me like, "Hey, you want to work?" So I was like, "Sure." So working there, I met Lenny B. And, nice. And at that time, he was doing actually like 5 for 5. Right. He was doing all the Jungle Boogie events.
Those were huge back then. Yeah, exactly.
Huge. So remember, he used to have dreadlocks and everything. Yeah. So
he looked like a sleeve stack.
Exactly. He was DJing. He was doing a lot of things. So I'm like, cool. I mean, like, I guess I'm part of Jungle Boogie. So I'm hitting all the raves, bro. Like, I mean, like, it just got so crazy that I went to so many raves. Yeah. And like memories that like actually build up in my head. And sometimes when I talk about somebody, about venues and everything, I can actually drive sometimes and be like, oh shit, I remember there was a rave right there.
Right. I did the same thing.
Remember in Long Beach? The
Lofts?
Remember the airplane? There was an airplane.
Oh yeah, Spruce Goose. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Big ass rave in there.
Exactly. So what the fuck? I mean, like, so anyway, so we're promoting hard, bro. Like we're like doing things, and wow. I mean, like people doesn't believe me nowadays when I talk to them about like, like especially my oldest daughter, she goes to like the Insomniac events, and I remember the first time when she went, and we're talking, and I said like, oh, Pascual. So like I tell him like I know Pascual. I remember like when we used to promote like events like. He used to like come and pick up flyers on my job, and he used to come and sit there for like days. Because remember when they used to come and design flyers, it wasn't like nowadays. You can design flyers in an hour. Yep. Back in the day, fucking bring their sit and fucking design flyers for like 3 days. You know what I mean? Yeah. And get it print, and then just go out there and just pass them on. I'm like, yeah, I remember Pascual. Like, he's screw. You know what I mean? Passing out flyers right there. Like I was passing out the Jungle Boogie once he was doing his thing. And he's like, no, I don't believe you. I mean, like, we all start somewhere. He started somewhere.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, he had a vision, and I mean, like, look at where he is now. And big props to the guy.
And everybody went to A&A Graphics. Everybody. Because A&A Graphics was the place to go to get flyers.
Yeah, I mean, like, you remember years after, I think it was Monochrome that it came out.
Monochrome, yeah. It was, who's Dr. Cisco, Patrick Smith. Yeah, so, Monochrome. Yeah, so it was a Monochrome and A&A. right? Mm-hmm. Them two. They were the ones that dominated the entire flyer scene. Like every single festival, Pasquale, everybody went there.
Yeah. You remember the days when, like, the flyer actually one full color one side and black and white on the other side.
Yep.
And whoever used to pass out, like, you know what's crazy, bro? They like, that's what I was telling my kid. They like, back in the days, it was like a kind of battle of like how good of the graphics, how crazy the flyer looks.
Yeah, the die cut, die cuts. Yes.
I mean, like the one who's passing out the more crazy flyers is the one who's actually getting more attraction of like the people who actually get more like, pushed to actually go to those events.
Yep.
Because you knew that like making a flyer like that wasn't gonna be cheap.
Yeah, it was expensive. Yeah, it was so much more expensive back then than today.
But I mean, like, and now when we're talking about this, I'm gonna throw this out there, and that's what I think is kind of funny now. That like, and I'm not talking shit, all right? There's like nowadays promoters, they don't understand that like back in the days, if we had like an event running the same night, we didn't battle like talking shit or anything like that. We actually, well, let's make better flyers. Let's promote hard. Let's make posters and put them everywhere.
Right.
Like, and let's just, like a week before the event, let's bring like, like a surprise, DJ from San Francisco. And let's bring like the crew, you know what I mean? Like, that's, that was the way that we used to battle to actually.
Yeah. It was this mutual respect where, okay, you're going to do an event the same night as I am? Fine. Okay, let's go one-on-one. Let's promote. Let's hit the streets, get the flyers out there. And like you said, let's get a DJ from San Francisco or New York.
Exactly.
And then let's just have a good night. There was no talking shit. That's so true, dude. It's so fucking true.
I mean, like, let's just hit the streets and let's see who actually promote more.
Yeah, right. Dude, and back then you promoted for Lenny V, right? So Lenny V was a huge DJ, a huge promoter. He put together massive events.
Yeah.
So how many flyers do you think you promoted for an event? Because I know, like for Grape 8, I passed out like, I don't know, 100,000. Well, you had to have passed like hundreds and hundreds of thousands for.
Well, remember that, like, there was two types of flyers: the thicker ones and the paper ones.
That's right. Yep.
So if you're passing out the thicker ones, you be holding a big stack and passing them around. If you hold the thinner ones, it's you have more, but it's more to carry, but heavier.
Right.
So I remember I was always with a backpack.
Yeah.
My backpack full of like flyers and passing them around like outside of the events or inside of the events. And don't forget that like when you knew or you had a good relationship with like like other promoters, they will allow you to go inside and pass out the flyers inside.
Yeah, right.
They don't want to be dealing with like like leaving a mess of flyers inside of the event.
Right.
Which they have to deal with that mess outside because like you walk out of the event, like by the time you get to your car, you got like a handful of flyers, and plus the ones that you're gonna find in your car.
Right. Oh, that's true. That's so true.
So
shit.
Yeah. So we were doing that for quite a bit, bro. But what was crazy was, I was so into house music, but then it blew my mind when I saw REW.
Oh, Raul, yeah.
Yeah, when I saw REW and Curious actually getting down. And my first experience, it was in the tunnel.
Oh, shit. Okay. Damn. The tunnel?
You remember the tunnel, right?
Wow. It's not even there anymore.
Exactly.
Wow. It's like an apartment complex now.
You remember the tunnel, right?
Damn, yeah, I remember.
What tunnel was that? I try to remember.
In downtown LA, that tunnel you're talking about, right?
Yeah. I forgot that name of it, though.
So you saw him play there. Was it REW and Curious?
Yeah.
They played drum and bass at the time?
They started with breaks. Remember, it was like...
with techno breaks, yeah.
Like,
okay.
The response of the people when they were actually dropping, like, like more drum and bass mixed with hip-hop and reggae and shit like that. I was like,
yeah.
This shit.
Like some jungle shit. Yeah, right. Okay.
Jungle shit. So we started kind of following them, and because you remember, I think during that time your brother was actually like doing techno, because remember they're the one who used to actually like headlining like some of the techno state events.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Right.
And every time you see like REW right there, you know that fucking party was gonna be popping.
Yeah.
You see the rest of the lineup, was like, oh shit, we gotta go there. So
Yeah.
it was one of those things that like when you had like your following crowd, like as soon as you just pick up a flyer, if you don't see certain DJs, you know what I mean? I mean, like Sabbath, true.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
So we started like, you know, like with Nelson. I don't know if you met Nelson, but he was from Jungle Boogie. I don't know if you remember Nelson and Shaggy.
I remember Shaggy. I remember
Nelson was the Cuban guy.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay.
So one day we're like, hey, bro, we got to start doing like jungle events. Nobody's doing it. We got to promote it more.
Yeah.
I was like, shit, I'm down. I like jungle because, you know, like we were actually listening to hip hop. And that kind of like connect us, like, you know, what we like, which it was like electronic music, you know what I'm saying? And like hip hop. So it was like a mixture of like hip hop breaks, reggae, and, you know, all that, like just into drum and bass. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I said, fuck it, let's do something. And then Nelson came up with like, hey, you know, I got a spot over there in Long Beach. It was a closed down bar. I'm like, let's go look at it. So we went. And so like, yeah, we can use it. And I'm like, how much do we have to pay? So like, I don't know, just like $100. So he's like, well, what days? I'm like, fuck it, let's do it Sundays. So that's when we started doing Sunday school.
Right.
So we did it for like a year. And
wow.
Like we started bringing like our residents. It was like RW and Curious. Yeah. And I mean, like, and we had like a guest. And at that time, the one who used to work with us, it was Jason Splat. I don't know if you remember him.
Splat?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my boy. Yeah.
So there was 3 of them, like, you know, like.
That's so funny. You know Jason. Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah. So.
That's dope.
So I remember we used to like, you know, we used to like flow Nas, and you know what I mean? Like we used to have beers and just jungle music to like 1 a.m.
Yeah.
Like it was just like perfect. And people start coming little by little. We started with like 5 people, 10 people, 20 people. Next to, you know, like we were like having like, you know, like 50, 60 people, because don't forget it was a closed down bar.
Right.
So it was just like an experience, bro. They're like, damn, like, I mean, like one day, you know, drum and bass is gonna blow up.
Yeah. And
then it just so happened that we lost the location, so we started doing like events.
Right.
And some of the first events, it was like nonstop. I don't know if you remember.
Nonstop.
Nonstop events, nonstop jungle
events.
Yeah. We did Gorilla. We did like event that was dope. Then we had like battles, like, you know, between like, you know, RW with the San Francisco crew. We had Assassin.
I think I still have some of the flyers with that logo. Yeah. My
we
God.
Had like, battle between Machete and, you know, like I think it was like Flux and Rinse and some of the guys from over there from San Francisco. It was crazy. We were doing like all crazy things.
Wow.
The other crew that it was actually doing events too at that time, it was Recognition.
Okay.
It was Recognition, and then Machete was doing his event Respect.
Yeah, which is the longest running club today.
Yeah, he's at I can say that's the last man standing.
You know who he's bringing in 2 weeks? Who's going to do a drum and bass set?
I think Cuber, isn't it?
Yeah, Cuber.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
It's crazy.
I think I might have to go to that one.
Yeah. So anyhow, so then, bro, like, and I remember like in 97, 98, I started like kind of like moving a little bit away from the scene because my dad, you know, like was getting sick, and then he passed.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and then like it was like I couldn't like focus on like, you know, like taking care of like, you know, my mom, and then like still continue doing raves, and then like I moved away a little bit from it. Like I used to go like maybe like once a month, twice a month, you know, because you cannot just focus on like, you know, just continue doing like, you know, like the underground life, the nightlife, and focus on like, you know, your priorities in life.
Right.
So I remember like after work, I used to come to my garage and still like kind of mess around with all the records that we had.
Yeah.
And after my dad passed, some of the stuff that we had in the house, my mom told me like, hey, why don't you move some of the stuff like, you know, to the garage or get rid of them or donate it to a thrift store, do something. I'm like, look,
Right.
we mess around with records. I'm not gonna get rid of records. I mean, like, and I don't know if you guys at that time were like that, but like, it was just about fun. It was about to smoke and just pull out records and oh shit, look what I can do with this mariachi. Just scratch or like just
Right.
just do little things here and there.
I did the same thing. Yeah.
So
Much fun.
So I remember I pulled out this Cuban record and another one from Celia Cruz and another one from Fania. And I remember like I just played it and do you remember that song? I think it was under Strictly Rhythm by the Pirates of the Caribbean. Cosita buena la rumba.
Yeah. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah.
So I remember that like the song came up and it's like Cosita buena la rumba. Like I was like, hold the fuck up. So I started fucking went and looked for it. This is it. So I started like,
your dad had that record.
Yeah, he had a lot of
original. Wow, that's dope.
So anyhow, so I remember that like I started pulling more records, and like some Hector Lavoe, some Rubén Blades, some
wow.
like that. So we started kind of fucking around, like with like some Latin house, you know what I mean? Like just messing around with some funny thing, just kind of mixing it up and just kind of fucking around.
Yeah.
So and then, bro, like it was one of those things that like I started liking, like like some of the salsa more.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I was like, damn, I used to like just literally just let the record play and just listen to it and like start liking it more. And during those years, it was when like the CD was actually controlling like like the market a little bit more. Yeah. So not that many people were like actually like buying like records as much.
Yeah.
You go to stores like like Mexican stores, like Latino stores, and like, and you see like they started pushing like the record section more to the side. I remember I used to go to Tower Records.
Tower Records, yeah.
Yeah. But I used to go to Tower Records because I used to buy like like the hip hop shop, you know what I mean? Like when Wu-Tang, like all the East Coast. Cause I was more into the East Coast, like like
same here.
I was more into the East Coast, so
right. Nas, all of them.
Yeah, exactly. So I used to go to Tower. And I kind of never at that time really bothered to actually go check like the section of Garcia, like, world, like, land section or whatever.
Yeah.
But once I started getting more into it, then I used to go to Tower. I used to go like, there was a store in, I think it was after 5.
After 5.
They were, shit. What's the name of the store? Shit, I forgot the name of it. But anyways, that like they used to sell a lot of like more like Latino music, you know what I mean?
So you started buying more of it.
I started buying more,
That's cool.
like because the price kind of dropped a little bit.
Right.
Buying like more stuff, like the kind of commercial shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Right.
And I started listening to it more.
So is that when you started buying more salsa?
Buying more. Yeah, I started, getting more into like, buying more salsa, which my brother, he stayed more like, into like, more into the underground. He's the one like, maybe like he still goes out like, every now and then to raves.
Right.
I kind of moved away from it. So he kind of took like most of the stuff, like, like, the records that we had. And I was just keeping like more the, like the line shit that I was getting. So then like, I got together with my girl. We started going back again to the raves. Yeah. Because she got more into it.
Right.
And dude, like we started partying again, like going to raves.
Right.
But then she got pregnant, and then she want to kind of like, move away again because, more responsibilities.
Right.
And then like, I remember like when I started going out more like to the salsa scene, it was like in 2003.
Okay.
And that's when I started like coming across like, like more salseros, and I started seeing more like of the Vasquez brothers, and I mean Rogelio Moreno.
Yeah. Luis and Francisco and all them.
Yeah, it was like
what was your first salsa club experience? Where did you go first as far as LA? Was it Sportsman's? Was it Rodolfo's? Was it?
To be honest with you, bro. I think it was JC Fandango.
JC in Anaheim, the original spot.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, that's OG. Okay.
I went to JC Fandango, and then I met a few cats right there, and then you know this is like everything else. Once you meet somebody, they start telling you like the whole schedule.
Yeah. Right.
Oh, when I go here over there. So you know, went to Sportsman's. I went to like Mayan, you
Right.
know, Stevens. You know, like
Right.
there was no Granada at that time. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, there's no Granada.
like, so which is funny now because I remember I went to the first opening of Granada.
Oh, cool.
It was I think the original owner. It was a guy who used to teach tango or something like that.
Okay.
He was the first owner who opened Granada.
Wow. Okay.
Anyways, moving on.
That's crazy. So you got, I think the most profound thing that you've said, and you've almost, I almost started like, I got a little emotional that your dad got you into salsa.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when people look at you and hear, oh, DJ Mayimbe, oh, he does Unified N too. It's like, how'd you get into it? I always thought maybe it was a friend, maybe it was your wife. I never thought it was your dad. And it was your dad's passing and your mom saying, go into, look at his stuff. And you started to pull out records just to hear what your dad used to listen to. And that inspired you to play. That is like one of the deepest shit I've heard in a while. That's so dope. Yeah.
Yeah, whoever that. So anyhow, so you know when you are promoter, bro, like when you kind of put events together and shit like that, you still have the itch.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, like you go to certain events, you go to certain clubs, and you kind of start feeling like, oh, they're doing this.
Yeah.
If I was the one who's doing, I would do this. You know what I mean? So I remember I met this dude who had the ambition of doing like a festival.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, man, I can help you. I mean, like he didn't kind of have an idea of what he was doing.
Right.
So, and that was like in 2005, I think. And he told me like, look, got an investor and I want to do any festival in Orange County. That was when we did like the Orange County Salsa Festival.
Yeah.
And at that time, like, you know, you had like the leading one, which it was the LA Salsa Congress.
Yeah.
Back then, I kind of want to like separate, like, you know, make it a little bit different. And my thing was, they're like, why we got to call it Congress when everybody's calling it Congress? Let's just call it a festival.
Right. Right.
Festival. So it was like the OC Salsa Festival. Because don't forget, at that time, there was no bachata.
There was no bachata. It was just salsa congresses. But one thing that I remember about that time is that you had Albert Torres that just dominated, that did salsa congresses all over the place.
I respect
it. Was all over the world. It was in LA. Yeah. It was known for it. And not only that, but everyone danced on one. Yeah. It was a thing to do. It's like you had all these rumberos, Salsa Brava at the time. There was only a handful, maybe this amount of dance companies. And it was so huge that it got to a point where it kind of started to kind of contract a little bit and then suddenly there's an OC Salsa Festival, you know, that started coming out from the Orange County, which you were a part of, right?
Yeah. Well, I'm the one who was actually putting it together along with other partners that I had. But
nice. And this was what year was this again? 2000.
I think it was 2005.
2005.
Because we did it for 3 years.
Yeah. Okay.
3 years. So, so the first year, bro, like the whole idea it was like just to create like a festival, just like a conference. But the first one, it was took over like literally like my partner, the one that I was doing it with, he had the ideas, but the ideas that he had, it was just the same ones that everybody else was doing. You get what I'm saying? Like nothing different. And I remember that at that time, like he was so in love with La Sonora Carruseles. I was like, Yeah, I know who La Sonora Carruseles is, but to me, I mean, like, yeah, it's a good, band, but to me, it's too commercial.
Yeah. Right.
So put the money together, and he brought La Sonora Carruseles, and he invited like a few people and a lot of locals, which it was good because at that time the locals were actually like doing good things. But my thing about it, but the thing about me, it was something that like we were doing back in the rave days. That like if you're gonna do something, yeah, get all the best locals to come and like be at your event. You actually need like special people, from the outside of LA or California.
Yeah.
Like the headliners, like for example, like let's just say like you were doing a party with like Doc Martin, Steve, and then you're gonna bring the Wicked Crew. People are gonna be like, damn, I'm gonna go there because they have the best of LA, but we're gonna bring out like the
Right.
So the first year, like we lost like at that time, dude, we lost like $15,000-$20,000, which it was a lot.
Yeah.
Which I mean, like literally, we worked for nothing and we still lost money.
Yeah.
So the following year, I asked the guy, and I'm like, look, bro, I mean, like I have a vision. I mean, like I remember when I went to San Francisco to the Congress, and I went to the New York Congress. It was just so crazy just to see like like the New York dancers. You know what I mean? Like how they have their style, like dancing and doing everything. What if we actually get like some of the LA people and we invite some of the New York people and they just come and meet, right here in LA, and they, we just have good shows, social dancing and everything. And yeah, it's dope. Let's find out how much it costs. What if we bring a live concert? And I'm like, well, fuck, who you want to bring? And I'm like, well, look, I mean, like I've been following this guy, like he's the one who sings like the Ray Barreto, like so, then is Tito Allen, like I saw him, he gave me his number, we can actually get in touch with them.
Yeah.
Get in touch with them. Like, well, what about this one? So we have like 2 nights of concerts. I'm like, all right, let's make it happen.
Okay.
And at that time, the first one we did it like in a kind of outdoor. It was like a tent.
Okay.
Tent.
Yeah.
And it was cool, but it was something like I can honestly say that like it was a festival, but it didn't have the feeling of like they used to get at the congresses.
Right.
Like everything takes place, like in like a hotel, and like you get to go to your room, get some drink, go down and dance, like because there was no hotels around, and go there, it just didn't have the feeling. So then I told my friend, I'm like, if we actually serious about doing something, we gotta move to a hotel, bro. And I'm like, everyone's doing it. I mean, like you remember like the Palm Springs events, how they used to happen. Yeah. I mean, what's in Palm Springs? I mean, like it just people used to actually make time to actually go like the end of the year or the summer to go to Palm Springs and just have a blast, like you over there is fucking hot, but but it was dope.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, we're right here in OC. I mean, like we can do it right here. We can pull it out. And so I had some meetings, so we went to Newport Beach. Okay. And I was searching the hotels, and we were actually keeping like, hey, we want to do something. And a lot of people were like, nah, we don't really do Latino events over here, because at that time, when you actually bring something, when you used to bring something to the table to like people like that, when you say you actually bring it, they're like, oh, it's a Latino event. They actually think like, you know what I mean? Like they think the worst of it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because as soon as we say like, oh, it's a line event, like salsa, no, we're not interested. So I find the Radisson, and the Radisson are like, yeah, you just gotta pay for the rental fees of this. You gotta keep us like guarantee that you're gonna rent so many rooms and this and that. And I'm like, yeah, fucking let's do it. Right. So like we booked it, and I remember that I brought Jamule.
Nice.
Yeah, and it was just crazy, bro. It was like to me, it was one of the first events. They took place in Orange County. That it was actually really good with different kind of like people. So, and that was the first festival that bachata got introduced.
Ah, okay.
And the first one who was actually promoting hard, and I give credit to that guy, because I can honestly say if anybody, I mean, like, want to contradict that, like, he wasn't the first one, I could just tell them that, like, they're wrong.
Who was that guy?
It was Jorge.
Jorge. Okay.
It was Jorge Contreras.
Okay.
And his partner.
Okay.
Which now they do like Summer Bachata Festival.
Okay.
They used to have a team called Bachata Caliente.
Okay.
I remember because he was young too, and he was like passing out his flyers for his class and everything. And
wow.
He came up to me. He's like, "Hey, bro, I mean, like, I'm starting something new. I mean, like, I would like to give us opportunity to actually like perform at your event." I'm like, I mean, like, we're doing something so we can welcome everybody. So, get the show, and for him, like, you know, after that, he started doing big things. And he took off. I'm not saying that like our festival helped him, like, actually, but I can only say that like it was one of the first stages that he actually like got to perform. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right. That's dope. That's dope.
So that year, bro, it was like it was a festival. It had the feeling of the Congress.
Nice.
And it went really well. It was good. Like, people were happy. I mean, like, everyone, like, social dancing till, like, you know, like 5 a.m, and I mean, everything was great, bro. Like, and
so it had that same feeling.
Yeah, it was good. So,
so from that point, how did you start Unified on 2?
Okay, well, that's what I'm gonna get to right now.
Like,
so the second year we were getting ready.
Okay.
So, like, you know, do that following one and everything.
Right.
But unfortunately, like, my mom started getting sick.
My
mom started getting sick, and she had a stroke, and so I tell my partner, I'm like, look, bro, I mean, like, I already lost my dad, and I gotta, you know, just worry about my family. So here's what, like, I think it should work for this year. You just gotta do the contract with the hotel, and just you handle it.
Yeah.
So I guess he didn't want to actually like put more effort on it, or actually like put more money or whatever went through his head, because he thought that, like, if last year was good, this one's gonna be better because we already actually have the credit, like, you know, people that like the last one was good. And I'm like, nah, bro. The thing about it is that, like, when you do something good, you gotta step it up more and more. You know what I mean? You gotta keep climbing the ladder. You know what I mean? Like, to offer people more. You're not gonna go backwards and actually not bring outside people or do other things. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But you just gotta continue doing it. But he decided to actually go back to the place where we started, which it was the 10, and he hired other people, different sound, different everything. They're like, whatever, like, we talk about it, we agree on it. It just wasn't what, you know, and he lost, like, I think like $30,000-$40,000, and I walk away from it. I said, like, I don't want to do it no more. So, so after that, bro, like I said, I was having some issues, and I just started doing like more like little clubs here and there of salsa. You know, I stay in the OC more, like, you know, doing more things over there, you know, because LA was already like kind of saturated and like controlled by like other promoters. So like, it's better if you start somewhere else and just kind of build like something, you know what I mean? So I started doing a Wednesday night, Thursday night, and everything. And I remember first time that I was actually got into DJing, it was at a club that we used to have. It was called La Terraza. It was on Thursdays. At that time, there was nothing really on Thursdays. Like, there was no PCH. There was nothing. PCH was actually known because I think at that time, PCH was Sasachi's. I don't know if you remember that.
Right.
So, so we used to have a Thursday nights, and I used to have rotating DJs. So, you know, like, something that I have learned, like, through my years and through everything that, like, you know, that we've been, like, you know, in the music, you know, scene and everything, is that, like, you always have to listen to, like, the people who comes into your events. If somebody asks you, like, hey, you need to bring this person more because he plays good music, you need to, you know, do this and do that. So I remember that I told the DJ, and I'm like, hey, why don't you just try to, like, play more of this and less of that? I mean, like what we kind of promote here is a little bit more of this, and when the other DJ comes, or sometimes when you actually play more of this, people likes it more.
Right.
And, you know, like the deal that we got right here, the spot that we're using is they like the longer the people stay, the more that the people dance, the more they consume at the bar. And
Right.
if the owner of the bar is winning, we're winning. So, and you guys get paid, you know. And his response was like, if you don't like the way I play, why don't you play? And I was like, bro, I mean, like, I'm just telling you because I think it's like a communication that we have, like, from a promoter to like a DJ. That, like, you know, we need to be on the same page.
Yeah.
He's like, nah, I mean, like, if you don't like the way I play, or if you got complaints, why don't you DJ? Maybe they like you more than me. So
let's not name that DJ.
yeah. So I was like, all right, cool. So I went home and I started burning like some of my CDs and some music that I had
Yeah.
into, like, you know, into my laptop, because at that time when people were using more laptop than CDs and everything.
Right. That's true. That's true.
You know, so I started putting music in my laptop. So the following week he showed up, and I told him like, hey, here's your money, and I'm gonna DJ tonight. He said like, well, what the hell, man, what I'm doing here? And I'm like, well, I followed your advice. You told me like, when am I DJ? I mean, like,
I followed your advice.
yeah. So,
I love it.
I mean, like, I've been doing this.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've been doing this, and I have kind of like knowledge. I mean, like, it just, some people always says they're like, oh, it's not hard to play music. It's not. It's
Right.
not hard.
Right.
The hardest part is actually for you to keep the dance floor and to actually maintain it. You know what I mean?
Yes, that's the hardest thing.
You know what I'm saying?
It's knowing how to control a crowd to get them to dance. It's
Exactly.
That's the hardest thing.
And this is what one DJ told me once, and that shit blew my mind. And till now, I still remember that. And he told me, you control the crowd. He said, like, don't forget that when you playing music and everyone's moving their heads,
Yeah.
you controlling that. If you want the crowd to fucking start like rising up and doing crazy things,
Yeah.
you're gonna play something like more up tempo, and then like people will take a little break. You're gonna bring it down and just go like this.
Yeah.
And that was Jano from the Wicked Crew, you know.
Yeah.
And I remember every time I used to go see his set, it was like, it used to blow my mind because it was crazy just to see the whole room right there, like, of heads just fucking just going up and down with their heads. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's awesome to see that.
So going back to that, so I paid the guy and I DJ, and people were like, damn, bro, you play some good music. And I'm like, you should do this more often. But I mean, like, you couldn't do more things, like, you know, like either promote or actually, like, you know, DJ. I mean, like,
DJ. Right.
I mean, like this, and like I said, I'm not talking shit about anybody. I mean, like, you got now, and at that time there was few on they used to do the same shit. They're like, they wanted like to teach, they wanted to promote, they wanted like, you know, like
they wanted to do everything.
Yeah, they wanted even to charge the door.
Yeah.
Like, those were the ones who were gonna go clean the bathrooms. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So, so I don't want to be one of those. I want to actually, like, you know, just either to stick to something.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So, I remember I was in Palm Springs, and it went down to the point that I was just doing it for the club. You know what I mean? And I didn't even have a DJ name.
Oh, shit.
But I had a nickname that my friend Oscar, and there was a little group of friends that we used to go out of Palm Springs, we used to go to Vegas, we used to go to the congresses and just get a room just like where I am right now, and just buy beer, go dance and drink and everything. But our thing, it was that, like, it was Oscar and it was me, and we used to pull out, like, you know, like the laptop or the iPad. Remember those iPads? They're like those big ones they used to plug into things. They used to like display all your selection right there, like. Yeah. And I remember we used to plug right there and be like, hey, look what I got. And we would fucking just led the whole week and play music and everything. And people used to be like, damn, so these motherfuckers have good music and everything. And I remember there's a song, because my friend Oscar, he used to call me, my name is Mario, so he used to call me Mayo. And then he used to call me Yin, they used to call me Mayito, you know what I mean? Like, hey, Mayito, hey, pásame esa rola, you know what I mean? Like, give me the song. And they're like, all right, te va. Say, hey, Mayin, okay, ese otro. So I remember I was, we're like, having a good time, like, like practicing some moves to dance or whatever. And then a song popped out, like, from the playlist. At the beginning of the song, starts saying, hey, Mayimbe, hey, Mayimbe, hey, Mayimbe. And so like, oh, shit, I'm going to call you like that from now. So he started calling Mayimbe.
Who? It was Oscar, your buddy?
Yeah, he started.
Because he already had that beginning of the nickname already.
So he started calling Mayimbe.
That's funny. That's awesome.
Yeah, so after that, bro, I was like he was everywhere you go, like, hey, Mayimbe, Mayimbe here, Mayimbe that.
Shit.
So there was a lot of DJs, like coming, you already had like, the OGs, you know what I mean? Like DJ Frank,
Travieso,
his brother.
Yeah.
Like you had the Chino, you have OGs.
Yeah.
Those were like the OGs, and my respect for all these guys. So I remember like when Bernie from the Mambo Outlet, when they started their social, I met a Dario, which he goes now by DJ Abiku.
Right.
And because Bernie, like, we used to always party, like, like at the congresses or festivals. And he asked me, like, hey, I'm going to start socials. Why don't you come through and check it out? Like, inviting people just like anybody else. So I'm like, yeah, I'm going to cruise down one of these days. So I finally did. I went, and I saw Dario right there, like, playing with, records and doing everything. And I was like, this motherfucker. And I was like, and then, because like I said, we come from like DJing with records. So see,
and he's got a good collection of fucking records. That guy.
So seeing actually other DJs, I'm sure that happens to you. Like, cause like you come from playing records, so the record culture.
Yeah.
If you randomly go somewhere or anywhere, even a cafe, you see somebody playing records. Oh shit, these motherfuckers playing with records. It happens.
Yeah.
It's a natural feeling because it's it's organic. It's organic sounds.
Yeah. When I met you, I freaked out. When I met you at that party in Orange County.
Yeah.
You knew my brother, and then you were saying, yeah, dude, I went to your event. Great day. I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? And then I was like, holy shit, he's got records. I was like, I love you. I was like, I don't know who you are, but I love you. And then we connected right away. And then we were talking about the event you were going to.
Yeah.
I was so happy that day. I was like, this guy's an OG. Holy shit.
Yeah, bro. So anyway, so I met Dario and we're talking right there. And I'm like, damn, bro, that's sick. And so like, oh, what you know about this? Like, fucking I was like, wow. That's a technique. I mean, like, that's a standard right there. I have a technique.
Yeah.
I have techniques. And that's a Behringer right there. I got a Bozak. You remember those Bozak fucking?
Yeah.
Come on, bro. I mean, like, not that many people knows about those mixers. Like, to now, like, remember those Bozaks fucking? Yeah. But, like, those they don't have like like to go up and down. You have to.
Yeah, they didn't have the up and downs. Yeah.
So anyhow, oh,
that's funny.
Yeah. So and I'm like, damn, dude, you got some good shit. And he's like, I'm like, I got some too. He said like, no shit. I'm like, yeah. So like, so why don't you come through next month and I can let you drop some tunes. You know what I mean? So like, let's do it. So following, I went and I pull out like my. Because, I have bags and, from my old days when I used to, I pull out some good records and I went over there and I start playing and everything. And he looked at me and said like, damn kid, you got some skills. I'm like, well, I mean, like I used to do, different music, but, like this is honestly the first time that I'm actually doing like, with a dancing, like, audience and everything.
Yeah, right.
I've done it before with laptop and everything, but now with like records.
Right.
So after that shit, bro, like it just blew my mind. The feeling that like like you get like from playing records to like so. And then after that we clicked in with Dario, and I told him like, bro, I mean like nobody else is playing records, so I think that's like a something that is gonna kind of separate us from other DJs if you start like just coming out with records.
You two were the first ones to play records in the salsa scene, by the way.
Yeah, I mean like there was.
I remember. So
Yeah,
for anybody that says no, they weren't the first, Mayimbe wasn't the first. I witnessed it. You and Dario was the first.
yeah, but see, I think there was like there was Tico and there was like
Tico. Yes, Tico's a badass DJ. Respect the
there was
Tico.
another ones, and don't forget like for example like Moreno and Samuel.
Right.
Like, when
Right.
they started, they used to play with records, but they moved away from that.
Right.
They
Right.
started with CDs and everything. So
With the CDs.
So, I mean, like, it's for example, like, let's just say everybody's doing laptops, and like 2 years from now, like somebody's gonna pull out CDs and just do set with CDs.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
So that's what we literally did.
Yeah, that's true.
So we started playing records, and we were playing literally like music for like most of the Antu dancers. That like at that time that it wasn't that big.
Yeah, it was small. It was very small. Yeah.
And remember, Stevens used to have a Tuesday night. They're like that's what like some of the Antu dancers used to go.
Yeah.
So we started like like doing things at the Mambo outlet, and one day like I told Dario, and I'm like, look, I mean like I'm gonna go under DJMayimbe because I mean that's what friends call me, so I'm not even gonna search for another name. That's what they call me. That's what they know me, and
Yeah.
just do that.
Right.
All right, cool. So and then like we were like actually like I was kind of selling like our product, which it was like going to play with records. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And some of the people like Javier, who used to have his like house parties, I'm like, hey, I want you motherfuckers come and play because you guys play some shit that nobody plays.
Right.
So then that's what it popped out of my head, and I said like, hey, let's just name like a little crew.
Yeah.
Because like just like in the rave scene, like the beat junkies, like the like Respect had their crews, and I'm like, well,
right, Junglist Platoon.
I want to make my crew in the salsa. So
yeah.
So I started like Mambo on wax because we're playing Mambo, like music Mambo for the dancers, but on wax, which is on records. You know what I mean? That's like something we knew from back in those days.
Right. Right.
So we started going under Mambo on wax, DJ Dario and DJMayimbe.
Right.
So we started like like getting booked to like go places, and it was funny because every time we used to go places, bro, like people used to make fun of us.
Why?
It's probably because like sometimes they're not used to it, or like they just think it's too funny when you see like somebody carrying all kinds of like crates and turntables setting up and doing
right. Right.
You can just come in and just
it was different.
Yes, put like your CDJs or something or your laptop and just play.
Yeah,
but,
it was like, different. Right.
We want to actually like, which like some people say that like people who dances doesn't care about like how you playing it, because at the end of the day all they want to do is dance.
Right.
Think about it is that like nowadays there's actually more, because some people have burned like some of the records into like MP3s, so you get more of it. Yeah. But when we were doing it, there was like huge music, but it wasn't like an MP3. So we're actually playing some of that shit on records. You know what I'm saying?
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. So moving forward, Dario had some personal things, so he have to leave Mambo Outlet. So Bernie asked me like, "Hey, you want to take over Mambo Outlet?" So I'm like, "Yeah, I guess." So I talked to Dario, and everything was cool. So I started playing at the Mambo Outlet, and being at the Mambo Outlet it's been a sick experience, because like we have met like people, we have actually like seen people, we actually have seen people come in like when they started dancing on two. Now they're like some of my professionals.
Right.
But I always had this vision, bro. Like the vision that I always had, it was like the vision that I had when I was doing my festival. That was that like I want to actually like exposure like more people from like New York and who were dancing different styles of music, which it was down too. Yeah. I mean, like my intention wasn't in any way to actually like do it to like not to support, to do anything for the unwanted people.
Right.
But like the way I have seen it is that like we all have like different tastes, you know, for different things, and there's time that you always have to kind of separate yourself, like, you know what I mean, like from others, and
Right.
that's always been my thing, you know what I mean, like either to like to do or to create or to do something to yourself that is actually gonna separate you from others. You
Right.
get what I'm
Makes
saying?
sense.
And to nowadays, if somebody asks me, uh, like why do I only mainly do salsa, what I only do this, because I kind of crafted myself to that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's
Right.
like just like a quick example, just like RW was known for like, you know, jungle, you know, like a DJ and, you know, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Doc Martin was actually known for like a house DJ, you know what I mean, and
Right.
crafted themselves to like that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't. Oh,
So
I
that specific genre, that specific.
exactly. I never
Right.
actually seen like a flyer that it was said like Doc Martin like doing a jungle set, or he probably did it, you know, just for the fuck of it.
Yeah.
But I mean, like you would never see him like any, you know,
Never.
flyer or anything like. And I wanted to be like that. I want like,
Right.
for example, like if I want to go to play to a festival or social or a club. I mean, like sometimes a club you have to take exceptions to like actually take people requests, so you do it. But you know what you're getting yourself into when you go to play for a club. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Right.
And don't get me wrong, I don't got nothing against any other rhythms or any other things. I mean, like they all do their thing, and that's nice. I mean, like, but I'm more into other things. You know, I crafted myself to that. You know,
You wanted to create your own unique platform, your own genre,
exactly,
your own creation.
exactly. So,
Yeah.
so like I said, being at the Mambo outlet, like I started like opening my eyes and seeing things different, and then I got invited to go DJ here, go DJ there,
Mhm.
and but like I said, people would invite me to go DJ there to do a set for that kind of music,
Right.
and they will have like other like either the residents or other ones playing the music that like for the people, the regulars, you know what I mean? So I would
Right.
just come in and play my set of the music that people like or follow me for, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Right. Right.
And it was good. It was working. It's been working. But like I said, I had the vision of like doing something different, which at the Mambo outlet, it's actually known like to just be strictly salsa and mambo and stuff like that. I mean, like
Right.
that's what they do. I mean, like nothing against, like I said, bachata,
Right.
something else,
But that's just what they did. That was a niche.
exactly.
Right.
So, but when people used to come and ask, like, how come they don't do bachata over here? And I'm like, well, like we only have one room, and it just, I don't think it will sound kind of like right for like something that like the niche is to actually just do mambo and then start mixing other things.
Mhm.
I mean, like we don't want to disappoint like other people. We don't want to disappoint you guys if you guys came just to do bachata. You're not gonna. So I remember, bro, that like I started seeing more dance companies like growing, like, you know, Mambo, like there was Majesty in Motion, Mambo Inc., which originally started like as a dance company,
Right.
and at that time, like Eder was, I think, dancing with los Anormales.
Yeah.
So, so I was like, dude, I need to put something together because I mean, like, there's only like Mambo Outlet and other socials who are just doing it, but we need more, you know, like we need to keep people more like to come out and actually be more entertained like in different nights, you know, of the month.
Right.
Because don't forget, like we were only doing one social a month.
So you started to see this slow growth of dance groups, and they were all on two.
Yeah. So
Okay. So you started to see this. Okay, that's interesting.
So I was like sitting at my house listening to music, and I reached out to like, you know, like the director of like each dance company, which it was like, you know, Omar, David from Majesty. I talked to Bernie. We used to work together.
Yeah.
And Rodrigo
Right.
and Selene, which before that, me and Rodrigo were doing a social, but they were always traveling. So it was hard to keep up with it, you know what I mean?
Right.
So I talked to all of them, and I'm like, look, my idea is that like, I want to do like some kind of a tour. What do you mean like a tour? And I'm like, this is a social in San Diego. There's a social in in Orange County that it was by Violeta and Kasumi at that time. The Clave Chucho. I don't know if you remember that.
Right. Yeah.
So there was one in San Diego. There was one in LA.
Different spots, yeah.
Different spots. And at that time, San Francisco had already started like the iHeart Mambo, and there was another one happening in Seattle. So I reached out to these people, and I'm like, hey, I have the idea. I'm gonna bring like a couple of each dance company doing a routine, and I'm gonna be DJing. I'm gonna bring Dario, and I've been working with Raul, which is the video and photo guy. And I mean, like if you hook us up with the plane tickets and pay us a little something, so we can actually promote and bring you like the entertainment.
Yeah.
So, well, what do you got in mind? And I'm like, well, I'll give you more details. But if you're interested, let me know. So yeah, I'm interested.
Yeah.
So that's when the idea came out, like to kind of unify all these dance companies.
Okay.
And all these dance companies were dancing on two. So that's when they came out, like to unify on two. You know what I'm saying?
So it was about unifying all the dance groups that you started seeing.
Exactly.
So okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
nice. Okay.
So
because a lot of people think, oh, unified on two is just there's just a bunch of two dancers that just want to stay together. They're unified on only two. They don't like dancing on one. I've actually heard that before.
I hear it all the time, bro.
Yeah, and to hear the story that you actually did it to unify all the dance groups that you were seeing that were actually coming up as on two. That's okay. That's dope. Wow. Okay.
So yeah, and then I sent the name, and we only had the name.
Yeah.
And, but just like everything else, you need like a face of actually.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like every production, and we want to create something like a production that like when people see
you need a face.
Yeah.
It's like branding.
Exactly. So
yeah.
So I remember that my middle boy was born, and my wife has always been about buying like animal things to them, like lions, elephants, giraffes, and everything.
Right.
So, but for my middle kid, she always wanted to buy elephant things, and I remember I was holding him feeding him a bottle, and he had a bib of an elephant. And on the bottom says "Think Bigger," and
nice.
And I was listening to a record, and the name of the song is "Echando Pa'lante." So during that time,
nice.
Like few people that I used to actually talk about, hey, I want to do a social. I want to actually do. I want to do a social, which I'm gonna put a bachata room and a salsa room.
Right.
And few promoters, they were like, nah, that's never gonna work. I'm like, why not? They're like, bachateros don't like salseros. Salseros don't like bachateros. I'm like, it's not about they liking it, bro. It's about them getting along, and at least maybe the salsero will learn some bachata, maybe the bachatero will actually learn something.
It's about unifying.
Yeah, exactly. So
unifying.
Exactly. So it's one of those things, bro. They're for example, remember back in the days when you used to go to the raves and there was a house room and there was a jungle room.
Yeah.
So if you go with your buddies, it's yeah, I'm gonna go with them. But you like house and I like drum and bass, so I'm gonna stay all night in the drum and bass room, just
right.
shaking my head, and that fool's gonna be over there with some glow sticks, in
right, in the house room.
Exactly. So I picture it like that. When you go out in a group, there's some people who are more like bachata and another one salsa.
That's deep, because that's so true. You would have different rooms with different types of music, and you would either separate or meet your friends back. But there was no hate. It was oh, you're going to the house room? Okay, I'm going to be in the drum and bass room.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It was all plur. Remember that?
Yeah, it's all plur. So yeah. You were trying to bring the plur to the salsa scene.
Exactly.
In a way.
In a way.
By creating the bachata room because I think you had a zouk room at one point, right?
I still have it.
You still have it. So you're trying to create these different environments, like a rave back in the day when we were kids.
Yeah, But you know, like at that time, I only had a room. I mean, a studio with 2 rooms, which it was William Carpenter. I don't know if you know him.
Yeah.
Okay, he had his studio, so I asked him, like, I approached him, and I asked him, like, hey, I want to start a social in your studio. I like your studio.
Yeah.
And he looked at me and said, like, well, what do you want to do? And I'm like, well, I want to start doing this. I'm going to bring this. And my business, like, he looked at me and said, like, I guess. So I was like, all right, cool. So going back to when I was chilling with my kid,
nice.
The song was playing. I was getting the doubts of, like, you know, people were like kind of putting me down about saying, like, that's never gonna work. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. So I felt like the only thing that I have to do is just keep moving forward, pa'lante. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it just so happened that I was holding my kid. I'm looking at an elephant, and I'm looking at like some things. You know, my kid, they have elephants everywhere. Then the song says, like, echando pa'lante como el elefante, and never look back. And that's how I felt. That I just have to keep moving forward like an elephant.
So is that why you have that? Is that the symbol of the elephant?
Yeah.
That's the meaning behind it, because I think a lot of people don't know that the meaning.
Well,
it's because your kid had elefantes everywhere.
Yeah. And
you heard that song.
Yeah.
Adelante.
So I mean, like,
como un elefante.
It's unifying too, and we're like an elephant.
Which the logo looks like this, which I'm wearing it. Out of respect. Yeah, I gotta wear it, son. I gotta wear it. You know I had to wear it as I'm in this podcast with you. Right. There's the elephant right there. You know I had to, bro. Come on now. Come on.
So yeah. So
you know where I even have a hat somewhere around here. Where's the hat? Shit. Look at this. Look at that. Respect. See? Look at that. Man, there's the elephant. See?
Yep.
So, come on, man.
So we want to create like a movement.
Yeah.
But the movement that I wanted to do, bro, it was like I don't want people just to think that it's like an LA movement. I don't want people just to think that it's in this other town. And like after like I came out with the elephant, because don't forget there's 2 logos. Maybe you have it in the back of the shirt.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
And we created the first logo, and it was just like a black and white logo, which it was dope. People liked it. Yeah. Some people didn't, because like, look at this. I mean, like an elephant for, you know.
The
like,
fuck is an elephant? Like, what the fuck? Right.
It's like, you know, like
it's got a deep meaning.
Yeah.
Adelante como un elefante. The elefantes just keep moving forward. Yeah. It's like regardless of what is thrown at them, you cannot stop an elephant.
Exactly.
They move through anything.
Exactly. So
that's deep, dude. That's wow.
That's what we wanted to do. But anyways,
right.
So and then I was chilling, bro. I was chilling right there, waiting for my my plane to go to San Francisco, and I'm sitting at the airport. And I'm looking at the California Republic flag.
Okay.
And I said, like, you know what? I'm going to twist that shit. So I just stick out the bear, and I put the elephant, and I put, like, California and 2.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. And it's been there since, you know. But, like I said, like, and we've been going to up and downs and everything, bro. Like, I mean, like, just like everything else. I'm sure you know.
How many years has it been since you've been doing
social? We're going to celebrate 5 years.
How many years?
5.
5. And that's for people that don't know. It's a Unified on 2 social. It's once a month at the end of the month on a Saturday, correct?
Yeah, it's the 4th Saturday, because don't forget
this. Saturday.
Yeah, 4th Saturday.
Oh, okay. Right.
Because don't forget there's actually months that have 5 months.
Oh, right. Okay. So it's the 5th Saturday. Okay.
I mean, 5 weeks. I mean, like, but
okay.
Yeah. So
it's been 5 years, and
June we're gonna celebrate 5 years.
Okay. And on average, how many people do you have now that actually go to your event?
Bro, I mean, like, you might think this is stupid, but we don't keep count.
Okay.
Because
so I mean, eyeballing. One time I thought that I saw about 200 or 300.
I can only say more than that.
Okay. Maybe more 5 or 6.
I would say I would say we hit like the 400.
Nice.
5,400.
That's really good on average for like a once a month social. Jesus.
Yeah, because you know, like the 2 rooms get packed, the little one.
Yeah.
And people, you know, like since I have like the food court outside,
Yeah.
breaks, you know what I mean, like from dancing, and then they just
Right.
a continuously, like, you know, like flow going, you know, with people coming in and out,
Yeah.
moving from one room to the other one, you know what I mean? So, but
That's dope. So you've been doing that once a month.
once a month.
But what's new is that you started your own event that's in March. You did it last year for the first time, correct?
Yeah.
So now you're doing one that's coming up again, the Unified on 2
Congress.
Yeah.
So last year and before that, like I said, bro, I had the itch of, of doing the festival.
Hey, once you're a promoter, you're always a promoter. I always have the itch. Always.
So then I came across, because when I went to the competition to Las Vegas Congress, they started like what they call like the Salsa DJ battle.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, damn, that's sick. So Jose from Las Vegas Congress and Nate, they started that.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I want to get in that shit.
Yeah.
You know, I was already active, like DJing with records and everything. So I want to get in that. So it just so happened, bro, that like I was ready, but like going back, remember that I told you that my mom was actually getting sick. She was getting strokes and everything. So it just happened, bro, that like a week before I actually was getting ready to go to Las Vegas, my mom passed. So I was like, oh, dude, like I'm not even gonna go and everything. So yeah, so so my wife and my kids, they were like, look, there's nothing you can do about it. So I mean, like, she was already sick, she was suffering. So at this point, you're not gonna get to see your mom for the funeral like in 2 weeks. So from now on, if you just don't focus on something else, you're just gonna be suffering. Right. So you need to get your mind set into something else. So I think we should go to Vegas.
Right.
So I went to Vegas, bro, and I went to battle and everything, and thank God I won. Yeah. And it was a dope experience. And came back, you know, like did the things with my mind. It was a, you know, just a reality, you know, we all have to face, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But other than that, a lot of things has happened, and the only thing that I can tell you right now that like I'm living the experience of like putting together like events, and every day, bro, like more ideas keep coming out of my head, because just like we used to do it back in the days, we have a production, we have a brand, but each social for us is like a different chapter.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's the reason why, like, I name each month, like, you know, like different names of social, like just like for like, you know, for example, for this month, which is January, we call that social Vibe, the Vibe social by Unifying 2.
Right.
Next month is gonna have a different one. The following one has a different one, because we want to actually like just give people something, you know, different. You know?
It's so creative, because like when I see you post on social media, every month you have a different look, a different theme, a different name.
Yeah.
Is what you have, and you keep everyone engaged and excited for the next one that's coming up. And in addition to that, you did something really, really unique that I always laugh when you do this. You'll create a flyer, and then you'll put your face on people. You'll find an album of some badass artist from the 60s, and then you'll put your face on him.
Yeah.
And then you promote it as Unified on 2, it's so hilarious. It's so creative. Some of the ones that you post up, I just fucking die laughing. I'm like, what is this motherfucker doing? But it's so creative, and it's hilarious because it makes me look. And it's like, it's a badass album cover, and I see your face. And sometimes, I mean, I think you caught me one time. You caught me one time where I would look and like, wait, is this real? Because that guy, whoever's on that cover, looks like it should have your face.
Yeah, I mean, like,
thing.
Like we would find like an album like this and just
Yeah, yeah. But
find
there
something.
was, yeah, there you go, that one. But there's a couple that you put up. You put your face. I'm like, wait a minute,
Yeah.
is that an old picture of him? Like, what the fuck?
Holy shit, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, always gotta just
So it's very, very creative the way you market and you brand yourself on social media on that shit. So I got props. It's great.
I mean, uh, like you coming like just like me, like from the underground scene. It's like what people doesn't understand sometimes, bro. They're like in the underground that we come from, we see a lot of things before other people sees it.
Yep.
I mean, like
Yep.
anybody can say like, "Oh, you bullshit." No, it's not true. I mean, like
It's true.
we see a lot of things. They like
It's true.
people later on they start catching on. You know what I mean?
It's true.
And like me when I started doing flyers for the Unified and for other things, I wanted to do it different. And to me, and I'm not trying to sound cocky, but like I got lucky enough to work with a guy who used to design flyers for like raves and everything.
Yeah. You think it helped? You think it really helped?
Oh yeah, because it helped because, for example, like I was explaining to him like, hey, dude, I want to make a flyer and I want to actually make the picture look like this, but I want to put this background. Remember how we used to do it back in like, he's like, oh yeah, like kind of like futuristic. And I'm like, yeah, let's just do it like this. But I want to just put the date right here. I want to put the logo here and just the address. Just boom, let's get to the point.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, cool. We'll design and get it done.
Right.
So what's crazy is, which is, I'm glad it's happening.
Yeah.
But I mean, like that's when I'm in social media, I'm just kind of passing through. I kind of see like kind of similar flyer that like I did maybe like 3 years ago, 4 years ago,
Right.
and
Right.
and it's crazy. I mean, people are catching on. There's something you cannot stop. I'm not gonna tell anybody, hey, don't do a flyer like that, because no, go ahead, man, just do it.
Yeah.
I mean, like that right there, it just gives you motivation to continue like doing more different things, and you know, like just. I mean, like,
Hey, you know what they say about people that copy? It's like when you copy somebody, it's like a form of flattery.
yeah,
You know?
it's something good, right?
True. Yeah. It's like it's to a degree. It's hey, you know, it's like yeah, respect. You know.
Yeah. So yeah. So the crazy thing about it, that like we decided to do it in March.
Okay.
Because before we decided to actually like when we sit down and we started like, you know, we want to do a Congress, and like Jose Mendoza, he's a good friend of mine before, you know what I mean, like
Right.
we
Back when you were dancing in those days, right?
Yeah, don't forget he's the one who used to run the LA Congress.
Right.
So I wanted to do it in March because in March I used to do a social, which it was under Unified with a different name.
Right.
I used to call it like March
Right.
of the Elephants.
Okay. Okay.
The reason why I called it like that was because I wanted to keep the social, the month, just like the anniversary, to bring like, you know, like some big heavy hitters, like of dancers, instructors, you know what I mean?
Nice.
And,
Nice.
you know what I mean? So like it's like, you know, it's the month of March, but it's the March of the Elephant. They're gonna march, big motherfuckers gonna come over here to our social.
Right.
It's
a good month. It's a very good month.
So I tell like let's just do March. So why? It's Marches, and last year we did it, and thank God. I mean, like the expectations were like kind of like not that high like we were expecting, but I mean, like, and we finally, and I can only say, I mean, like anybody can just say, oh, whatever, that's not true. But what we did last year with the Congress, it actually opened our eyes and feel good. It's a good feeling to know that like we finally actually like getting communities come together. You know what I mean? Like just to see different old school people, new school people, like, you know, like getting together. I mean, like it had the feeling as soon as you walk inside of like the lobby of the Congress and see people having the drinks in the bar, getting excited to go inside and dance, you know, like to the morning.
Right.
Others walking around like practicing, and you know, it just feeling, bro. And we had a good turnaround, you know. I mean, 3 days, and people came from everywhere, and
that's awesome.
Looking forward from, you know, this March, you know, this year, and
What's
Like,
the date? What's the date for this year?
this year is March
March
27th to 29th.
March 27th through 29th. Okay.
And
Awesome.
yeah, and
Awesome.
we having live.
So for those that want to buy their passes, where would they need to go to get their passes?
Go to mysalsacongress.com.
Okay, mysalsacongress.com. Okay,
They can
awesome.
find us on social media, like on Instagram and
Okay.
on Facebook under like Unifying Two Congress. Los Angeles Unifying Two Congress.
What's your social media again? So can you like throw that out there?
Los Angeles Unifying Two Congress.
Nice. Okay, dope. Okay, awesome.
So yeah, man. I mean, like I said, it's been a roller coaster. I mean,
but dude, it's like you've garnered some success. You created something, which is cool. I know there was a person, like Alex was in the Las Vegas Salsa Congress. There was some teacher that mentioned that dropped your name, said something like, Unified on Two has something really good going. So people are really respect what you've actually created. And it was, it was a long journey. Like you said, ups and downs. You lost a lot of money, but it's like, it's something that you've created that's new, that's fresh, and you continue to do something new and fresh every month. I still crack up when I see your marketing, dude. You're onto something really special, man.
This is the thing about it. That's exactly what I was telling one of my friends last night, Francisco. Mm-hmm. That when I promote or when I do like the Unify, when I do promotion, it's not about, you know what I'm saying? I don't brag, or I don't try to like tell people like, oh, I'm the one who does this. No, I mean, like, if somebody's like, if I get introduced by someone, it's like, oh, that's Mayimbe, he's the one who runs this. I'm like, hey, how you doing? Right. But I would not come to you and be like, hey, how you doing, man? I'm Mr. Universe. No,
that's because you're bringing plur to the scene.
I mean, like, the whole Unified thing, it's about who's involved. It's about like people who unify into
Unified. You're bringing people together.
Unify and two can be you because you come in support, and that's what I told him last night.
Yeah.
He asked me, "You're probably making a lot of money at the Unified." I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna break it down to you. If I spend like, let's just say like $3,000 to bring like an artist from New York, and if in his workshops I'm only gaining like $1,000,
yeah,
the other $2,000 are gonna come from the social,
right?
So in reality is that, like, if I was getting all the people for free, if I wasn't paying DJs, if I wasn't paying sound, if I wasn't paying cleaning crew, wasn't paying people at the door, if it wasn't paying lighting, if I wasn't paying like, all the stuff around, flyers, all the stuff, like, trust me, I would have all kinds of money. But no, I mean, like, I'm creating something that, like, when you pay, your entrance, you already contributing to, like, the event. So
and that's why I always say you must pay. I always say pay to support.
Yeah, but you're always gonna have those that, like, they send you a message the day of the event, like, put me on your list. And then
let me ask you this. Have I ever asked you to get in for free at your event?
Because you understand.
Because I'm a promoter. I understand. And anyone that tells me, like Alex or anybody, like, yeah, can you hit Mayimbe to get you on the guest list? I'm like, that's disrespectful. I go, you want to go Unify in 2? Pay your $15.
Hey, give me a minute. I gotta flush something right there, quick.
What? You gotta what? Did you say you gotta go pee? What was that? It's 7:45. All right, we're gonna have to. What time is it? Shit.
Sorry, bro. I need to use the restroom because I can drink a lot of water. So yeah.
Okay. But dude, let's go ahead and conclude this because I know you probably got to get ready for DJ pretty soon. So, but let me say
anything else you want to ask me that is actually like you wonder or you probably.
Well, I want to ask you one last thing. Like, you have been doing this for a while. What kind of advice can you give people that want to follow that same path? Maybe it's not salsa. Maybe it's a different kind of genre that they want to create or promote themselves. What kind of advice can you give people that want to do something that you did?
Well, if you actually have a vision about something, don't give up. Just continue doing it.
Yeah.
You want to be different. There's nothing wrong with being different.
Be like an elephant and just move forward.
Move forward. Because trust me, the ones who are gonna always be jealous about like the good things you're gonna do are the ones who actually always gonna doubt you about things.
Yeah.
I mean, like something that like my grandpa used to tell me, like, you want to be a badass, kick it with badass food. You want to be a sucker, just kick it with the suckers.
Wow. That's dope.
Yeah. So
kick it with the learn from the badasses.
Yeah.
Don't kick it with the suckers. Dude, what do you think attributes you to your success? Is it just your elephant nothing can stop me attitude? Is that what it is?
More like,
because it seems like you really have a creative mind that makes you push further.
Well, it's I think it's always been in my DNA, bro.
Yeah.
And my wife, she actually believes in like the zodiac signs about like
cool
how people are. And I was born in June. I'm a Gemini, and
cool.
I mean, like she said that like I have that on me. It's natural that you have something, and I can be like stupid or dumb on other things, but like it's just like if somebody tell me like, hey, why don't you build that? I might be, I don't think I can do it. But if somebody told me like, hey, why don't you create that, or why don't you give me advice about like doing this, or why don't you do that? I can probably be really good at that.
Yeah.
I mean, like some of us are born to actually do some things, and I'm not trying to sound cocky about it. I mean, like, that's something I always have admired of like big names of the DJs who used to be like, they used to give me inspiration to actually what they used to do. I mean, like, I don't know how you see nowadays the new generation of DJs. And like I said, I never like to talk shit about anything, bro.
Yeah.
That's just me. Sometimes I like to just talk like the way I see things. And if I'm wrong, I apologize. But to me, to actually go like to underground or even to something, it was magic. It was an art form to actually like seeing the DJ turn around, pull out a record, lay it down, this one playing, picking up this one.
Yeah.
And sure. How the fuck? How? You didn't even, like.
It's different.
You get what I'm saying?
It's different.
And to me, like, trust me, I see my daughter and she saw me some videos of like, oh, he's badass and this and that. Look at this video. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Yeah.
And like to a point that like they get on top of the table and start like jumping up and down and doing this.
It's different, man. It's more of it's theatrics now. It's acting. It's a show. It's not really about the music and the art form now. It's changed. It has.
So, well, it's sad but true. But
yeah,
I mean, like I can honestly say that I'm sure you probably see it the same way, that like we were actually blessed to be born at that time, because we actually see the evolution of some in LA, or not just in LA but in California.
Yeah,
we actually went through the different stages of our lives and get into different things. Because I mean, like, I'm sure you have your story about how you got into salsa, because trust me, I was tripping the fuck out. Like when I first saw your tattoos in MySpace.
Oh, right.
And
Oh shit, you're going back to MySpace. Oh damn, right.
I think you created like a little this thing showing you two different ways.
Right.
And then I click on it and I'm like, this nigga has a fucking Ruben Blades tattoo on him. What the fuck? I was like, all right, so, and then it's just funny that like some of the people that you know, I know too.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, just like everybody else. I mean, like, nowadays you probably see actually kids and people who are actually being all their life into the salsa scene.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, we were like the ones who didn't grow up like that. You know what I mean? We actually got into salsa scene for other reasons. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So before that, I mean, like, we were doing something else, and I'm not ashamed, and I would never deny that what I was doing before I was into salsa.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Anybody can criticize me.
We followed the same path. Underground salsa. It's the weirdest thing. It's so funny.
So like I said, sometimes
it's hilarious.
Sometimes people ask me like, and there's been time that I'm smoking a cigarette outside of the social. They said like, how you came up with the idea of doing this and doing that? And I'm like, dude, that idea has always been on me since, you know, I started in the underground. But I'm doing it now, but in different, more decent and more respectful. Not that like the underground wasn't like that, but it was more like a lot of things used to happen. You know that.
It was different.
It was different. It was different.
Different.
It was really, really different. It was like it was fun and different.
It was fun and different, dude. It's like it was a different chapter of our lives, man.
And it was part of being young.
It was, and I will never change any of it.
Nope, trust me. And that's what one of my friends asked me the other day. So like, there was a time that you actually would like to go back. Will you go back to the salsa days, or you go this? And I'm like, you know what? I would love to go see one of those guys.
Oh shit! Good question.
But you know what? I would like to go back to this rave. I would like to go back to this underground night.
Which one?
I was actually like passed out at the Narnia in San Diego.
Okay.
On the Indian reservation. Do you remember that one? If you went.
You were passed out?
I was passed out, bro.
Okay, so you want to go back to what relive that moment, or why do you want to go back?
Yeah, because I was out, bro. I was like,
you didn't enjoy it.
I didn't enjoy it. I was drinking.
Okay.
We were drinking, and the way over there, we got there. We smoked a lot, and
so that was you. I think I passed by a guy that was passed out.
Probably, dude. Like that was normal to see.
I should have woke you up. Hey, we're gonna be friends in the future, motherfucker.
No, because I chose to actually to go to sleep because I ate some psychedelic things and
oh shit,
it just crashed.
Oh, you were out. Oh damn.
So when I got up, I opened my eyes and sun is coming up and
wow,
everybody's like, "Oh my god, it was the best thing ever, bro!" Like,
just too bad you don't remember it.
Yeah, dude, I turn around and I see people like I don't know if you remember, like in the camp there was like a river, people right there, like in the water, like it almost looked like a Woodstock kind of hippie days or some shit like that.
Yeah, it looked like Woodstock. That was hilarious because I was there, which is freaking hilarious. Wow, brother, crazy.
So it was crazy that like, damn, I would like to go back and like literally like party like with my people, during those days. I mean, like sad that like I'm sure you probably have like some old friends that like they're not around anymore or something happened to them. Many. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So it's one of those things that like, damn, I remember that when we were like fucking around, like partying and doing this and you know what I'm saying? It's like shit, you know what I mean? Like, but I guess we all have a destiny, you know what I'm saying? It's like, and
very true.
And I think we should be thankful for what they have, but it is crazy. I mean, like, I respect everything that everybody's been doing through the years, and those have been like my inspiration. Just like I used to trip the fuck out when Raul RW or your brother, when they used to make music and they used to actually just go remember that viejito, bro, who used to burn the dub plates? There was an old guy who used to burn the dub plates. I don't know if your brother was doing it at that time, but there was an old guy who used to burn the dub plates.
Yeah.
I forgot his name, but
my brother knows him. What's his name? Se me olvidó. I forgot.
So it was crazy, like how these motherfuckers used to do it. They used to record their music and they used to bring it over here and burn it, and then the next day they would be like, scratching with their own fucking music and shit like that.
Right. It's crazy days, man.
It's crazy.
Wow, brother. Well, dude, I know you got to get ready to play somewhere. Let's conclude it. Tonight, you are in Reno. You're at the Reno Salsa Congress. This is not your room. This is not your beautiful bedroom. It looks like by the view in the back, you're in a high-rise hotel here.
Yeah, we are like, probably some people say like, nah, this motherfucker's probably living out of a fucking hotel or Momo.
He's like Michael Jackson living in a hotel.
Yeah, living at the hotel. But
you are in Reno. You are playing tonight at the Reno Salsa Congress. Dude, I just want to conclude. It was great talking to you. You've been an inspiration. I got so much respect for you, for your hard work, for your hustle, for what you did. You worked so hard to really, create this unique social community of Unified on Two. And dude, I got so much respect to you. Thank you for being on the podcast, brother. One last thing though. So for those people that are watching this and they want to go to your event in March, again, how can they buy tickets? How much are the tickets? Where can they go?
They all have different prices. If you want to buy individual nights, 3 nights, full nights, everything, all the information you guys can get is on the website, which is www.mysalsacongress.com.
Awesome, brother.
There they can book a hotel, they can do everything. But fantastic. Yeah, man, and I really apologize. I know we've been trying to get this thing going for like months already.
It's all good, bro.
And it finally happened.
Finally happened, bro. We did it. Much respect, brother. And have fun out there, dude. And kill it on the dance floor like you always do, brother.
Thank you, man.
Respeto.